Okay, let's get into today's Bitcoin forecast. On the dominant trend, we still see a downward force happening. The oscillator is still open. There is no switch and change to the upside, so we're going to leave that as is. The 512 does, however, suggest that there is a kill zone and a potential move to the upside. We won't see a higher high, so that is not going to happen. Basically, what we're looking for is some movement along one of these lines and then some decision making from there. The 512 and the 128, those charts are used to influence the overall trend direction, the overall invisible force on the charts that I do trade, and are there to be used by traders who don't have the luxury to trade every day. Okay, so you get some guys who are pretty happy with their careers or their businesses, and they only want to have their investment capital move along with the markets, getting out at the right time, getting back in at the right time, and then just doing a more prolonged approach to trading. So the 512 and the 128 are for them. The 32 minutes and the 2 minutes are for guys who are more like day traders. So this particular chart, if you are a medium to long-term investor, then I'd recommend getting in now and allowing the capital to build slightly and then staying close to these forecasts and get out once it's kind of hit the top to go back down again. So the reason why I zoom through the top time frames is because it's not necessarily detrimental to my day trading person. And let's move down. The 128. Yeah. Okay. So yesterday, I obviously put that probability box in play over there to say that price is going to go to there, and it did exactly that. Right? You can't script this stuff. It's all video verified and put onto third-party providers like YouTube, and I can't edit it once it's up there. It's date and time stamped. So go back to yesterday's forecast where we looked at the 128 and I said price is going to go inside that white marked area, and it did exactly that. All right. Will it stop there? I'm not sure just yet. The fact that it's there is good enough for me. Let's move down to the charts that are more relevant to my immediate action. Look at the first two turning points. It's pushed the third high into the next quadrant, which means that 3 is going to form there, and we're looking for a 4. The nice thing about having multiple time frames is that they speak to one another. It is like being in a forest where the massive trees will send down electrical impulses into the soil to send out an information update to all the dependent life forms that have grown around it. So the major guides the minor, and the minor also sends information back to the major. It's this communication network. It's this coexistence of information. All right. So very much like the wild or the jungle or nature, the charts operate in a very similar way. If you don't know this by now, you have cycles and you have quadrants, and it's the quadrants that actually bring the cycles together. So you work in multiples of 4, up and down the time frames. MTOPS is the only software that you'll find out there that has this hard coded into the charts, right? This is how markets should be set up. The rest of the platforms don't necessarily know this or care enough about their traders to have this in there. So, for example, the 2048 is exclusive to us because we are the only ones who have released this information out to the public. All right, so you'll see here that the 32, for example, is now forming a kill zone and going down, which means that we're now getting clarity on the time frame above the 128 to suggest that a turning point could be formed over here. As it's still very much in kill zone on the 128, I'm going to allow it to play itself out before I get back to it. So an update on that will come through tomorrow. The 32, of course, is where my focus is. Transition seems to be down. 3 is below 1, which means downtrend. 2 barely making it above 10. So it's showing a weakened market over there. Now I'll go short, right? Because the trend and transition indicator, also exclusive to our software, is suggesting that the force is down, and therefore it is safe to move along with the force than it would to obviously fight against it. So that's why the rule is to trade with trend. Okay, so at MTOPS, we strictly trade with trend for this reason. We move along with the force rather than try and fight against it and push against it and create that anxiety generating experience for ourselves, because intrinsically we know we're going against the flow of energy. So where does it leave us overall? Well, you can get into a position here. Once again, you're going to have to apply patience, as there needs to be this breakout for the 512's kill zone to give us more confirmation of what the market's actually doing. So if this is the low, aka 4, that's anchored itself in there, then we need to see some movement out of there along one of the diagonal support lines to confirm that price is going to go up more than it's going to go down. This, of course, will affect the lower frame. So whilst it's bundled into the kill zone, the 32-minute could continue to do some weird sideways moving action, as you've seen it over here. So even getting into the short won't necessarily bring in that big profit that a day trader is after. It'll just kind of tide you over to get your day trading daily profit goal that you need to lock in. That's it for today, guys. If you would like to see this in action on the Dow Jones and gold and be a part of our private community, please reach out to me and let me bring you in. Bye for now. Have a great day further.